What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with another haul video. Before we get to diving into all the goodies that I got in the mail today, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so that when videos like this drop ever so randomly, that you'll be one of the first people to know. And hit that thumbs up button, letting me know that you like what I drop. If you want to hit the thumbs down button, that's certainly up to you. What's going on, Ruben Guzman? How are you doing today, sir? Got a couple of stuff. Obviously, I've got a little helper here today who likes to see himself on camera. And yeah, if you ain't first, that's right. You're last. So I do appreciate everybody that watched this live or on the rewind. Either case is okay. I know that there are quite a few shows either fixing to go live. I'm fixing to go on an auction on Thunder God's channel. So if you're looking for some books at reasonable rates, then head on over to there at 8:30 Central Time. But so I only have a short amount of time myself and thought I'd go live and show off some of these books. What's going on, Rod? How are you doing today, sir? Hopefully all is well. All is well. So picked up a couple of, I'm always on the hunt, and sometimes that means online. Unfortunately, due to work, I wasn't able to get by the old comic shop to pick up my pull list, and there's some bangers this week, as I understand it, like Wolverine and Batman, and several ones I'm excited to read. And but I did get these in the mail. So the first batch of books is from X Collect. I got these on an auction that he did. I'm trying to remember whose auction that was. Was it Strictly's auction? Or maybe it might have been somebody else's. Anyhow, he threw some books up there, and these books contain a lot of nostalgia factor and were on the cheap. Nobody was really interested in them as much. And that's what you have to watch out for. You know, sometimes you get lucky. It's late at night. It's not a very well populated auction, and you can get lucky like that. Somebody throws something up and you want, and you're able to get it on the cheap. So first off, we got Transformers #1. Of course, this is a Bill Sienkiewicz cover. Some people might not realize that because it's not really in line with a lot of his other work. I had a copy of this, but I didn't realize at the time when I bought the first 4. So it was supposed to be a mini series. The original Marvel run of Transformers was supposed to be a mini series. It says as much up here, and they just continued it on. So with the popularity of Transformers and of course comics in general back at that time, they just continued on the mini series for many, many more issues. So I've gotten this already and still have this copy. Unfortunately, what's going on, Superior Hero Reviews? How are you doing today? And so, unfortunately, there was some kid had wrote on there 10 cents or whatever like that. So I had thought it was on the bag when I bought it at the con. Unfortunately, it was actually on the comic itself. And so I was not able to get it off. The same thing for this one right here, which is issue #2. And the same thing right here for issue #3, which is Spider-Man. Now, for whatever reason, on that other set that I have, they did not write anything on the issue 4, which I've got another one right here. And this right here, if it's not the first work, it's a very early work of Mark Texeira, or Texeira, if I'm not pronouncing that right. To me, yes. Hey, thank you. To me, he was most well known for his Ghost Rider work. He did some Spider-Man stuff back in the day, but Wolverine, did some Wolverine stuff in the issues 60s, 70s, around that time. But yeah, did some awesome Ghost Rider stuff. And this is either an early work or his first work. And cool. This one I did not have, which is Transformers #5. And of course, that's that Shockwave. All are all dead. Did not have this one, which is #6. What's going on, Z Collects? C collects. Then we've got issue number 7. I collect these, but I had already bought this one off of IG, so I'll probably just turn around and sell it. It looks like there's a little bit of foxing on this particular issue. But this is Transformers 22. This is the 25th anniversary cover. So pretty nice. Got all of that for 19 buckaroos. So yeah, not a lot of action was going on those. Some of them got some pressable defects. I think I'm going to send off. I've kind of figured that I'm going to put where that missing place is in my man cave. That I'm actually going to go with one of those IKEA shelving like Justin Birch has. If you've watched him and seen his background when he's on Two Brothers Comics channel, you'll know what I'm talking about. And get some figures to go in there. I'm not going to do anything crazy like sideshow or anything like that, but I will get some action figures to go in there. What's going on, Better Ray? How are you? Arr, what's going on, matey? Captain Comics, thanks for stopping by. Steven Spot, how are you doing today? Yeah, so I'm making sure the little one doesn't spill all these things while I'm sitting here talking, which he is apt to do, as 2-year-olds can do. So I picked these up from Paul, or also known as First Edition, and he held them for a minute for me, and I ended up buying some more stuff, and so pretty cool. Okie doke. So the first thing is going to be The Legends of Zelda #3. So Valiant, when they first kicked off, one of the things that they were doing were similar to what IDW does now in large part, which is licensing deals. So they did this as well as things like Game Boy, which this is Game Boy #2. And before they got into the whole superhero universe and connected universe, like they're more well known for. Also picked up from him Dark Knight's Death Metal #3, and this is the Robin King variant. The week this came out, he put it up. It and this other one that I'm about to show you, and I think this is a ratio variant maybe. And so my shop did not get this, and so I said, well, it's cheap enough, I'll get it from him. And same thing with this one, Dark Knight's Death Metal #3. This is the Superman variant. So I got the Batman guitar. I do not have the Wonder Woman. And I seen a Flash one where he's with the drums. So I'm going to have to end up getting that because that one's pretty cool looking as well. So thanks to First Edition for some good books and some good packaging. And we will move on. So let's see. I don't even recognize the name on this. I might watch where you cutting, Jason. Don't say it. Don't cut it. Okay. I cut into that cardboard. Yes, son. I cut in that cardboard, and I was like, oh no, don't tell me I cut into the comic. Oh, but I didn't. All right. So there's that. Ooh, I bet I know what this is. This is probably an Instagram deal, and I know why. If it is, I know why he had to package it in something different than a Gemini mailer, because it's a bigger book. Yep, that's what it is. So I bought this off an Instagram seller, and as I always do, check out and make sure they have several things that I'm interested in. Sometimes I will, if it depends on the price, I'll just buy for what they ask for, and sometimes I'll ask for discounts. And so this one had several things. So once he agreed to the one book, the main book that I was looking for, I then in turn went ahead and snatched out some other books as well. So it was very easy to deal with. I just bought these Saturday, so I got them today. So shipping was pretty good considering those were from Ohio, and I live in Mississippi. So that's a lot better than what, especially if you're shipping from California. Usually when it gets to Memphis, Memphis has been a stall lately. I don't know what the deal with Memphis is lately, but California is another one. You can just hang up on getting your stuff very quickly at all, at least when it comes to being in Mississippi. And the USPS is definitely ill-prepared, I should say, for the increased work volume as a result of this whole COVID shutdown thing. So I will say at the outset, like JB often says, no pull tabs? What's worse than no pull tabs? Packing tape. Oh my goodness. Come on, man. You gotta be kidding me. Packing tape? You know how hard it is to get around this thing and try to keep from bending the stuff? Who does this? Gotta be ever so careful. Because these are some older books too, you know, it's not like, which I wouldn't want to ruin a new book either, but it wouldn't hurt your feelings quite as bad. Yes, it's the pull tabs rant. Hey, look, you know, it wouldn't be so bad if it was just painter's tape, but this packing tape, this crap's on good. What's going on, Magoo? How are you, man? Madman Magoo. Is that kid to Mr. Magoo? Hopefully not, seeing that you drive trucks, because that could be very dangerous. Mr. Burrell says he's on the pull tabs rant. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is true. That is so true. All right. Let's free these little kiddos. Best bet is to cut the tape for each book and just agree the bag's not. Yeah, exactly. Well, I always rebag anyway. And so, yeah, you're right. That's the best bet. Sacrifice the bag for the sake of the comic, for sure. All right. So I think this place is actually a comic shop. I think this place is actually a comic shop, but they were selling on IG, like I said. Yeah, and I like all my stuff to be Silver Age bags, of course, except for my Golden Age stuff. But, you know, because Silver Age is going to fit everything, except for Golden Age, of course. But I don't have but 2 Golden Age books, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. But as far as current books, sometimes wider or a little thicker current book, you can always use a Silver Age bag. So, plus I like consistency in my boxes. All right, so the smaller books of this is going to be Moon Knight #2. This is from the David Finch run on this. So really sick looking Moon Knight cover there. David Finch, some Moon Knight goodness. The next book in this is going to be Detective Comics 365. And it is the house that Joker built. So really cool looking Joker cover. The purple in that doesn't pop quite as well as what it used to. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to Mylar it out of its mind. And when it Mylars out of its mind, it'll go, wow, like that purple cover is apt to do. What's going on, Big Will? Hey, JB's already done. And I guess JB's already done because he was on JB's show watching him open up a box from Comic Book NYC. All right, so this is Superman Batman #22. This is I guess depending on who you want to ask, the first appearance of Batman Beyond, right? So I got it on the cheap. Let's see what I paid for it. $10. It's probably some color rub right there. It's probably an 8.0 or something like that. So not a really high grade one. So certainly wouldn't want to send it out to to the CGC or nothing like that, but wanted to have that in the PC. Then we got Detective Comics 370, a little 12 center Batman practicing, you know, a little turn the other cheek here. And so this guy's whooping up on Batman, you know, don't just stand there, hit him back before he kills you. Never, under any condition. And so the day Batman turned the other cheek. So this is some 12 cent goodness. As you can see, I paid 10 buckaroos for it. And that's what he was asking for it, and so I was okay with doing it. This is the first Neil Adams work on Batman, right here. First Neil Adams work on Batman. And so that was pretty cool. I don't typically collect, well, those two are both detective, but I don't typically collect the detective unless it's like a first appearance of somebody. It's just like, I mean, it's even worse than the Batman, right? Because you can get some really expensive stuff. But yeah, so I mean, if it's the first Neil Adams work, the awesome Joker cover on the cheap, then I did not mind that at all. Yes, now we're getting somewhere. Now that the YouTube algorithm has shined upon us. So this is the other book that I got in that stack. This was actually the first one that I went after. So this book was actually promised to me by somebody, and I don't hold it against him, other than the fact that he shouldn't have promised it if he didn't deliver it. If by chance he ends up delivering on it, I'll just have another copy. So no harm, no foul. But when I got my other Turtles books, somebody with the one I got my Turtles 1 and several other Turtles things, for those of you who watch my channel and you know who it is that sold that to me. He did promise me a Raphael as well after the fact on IG, and I said, look, you don't have to do that. And he insisted, oh yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. They got inexpensive, but I'm going to get you one. Now, if he gets me one, fine. I'll probably, if he gets me one, I'll A-OK this one to somebody else. Yeah, I'll A-OK this one to somebody else. But this is Raphael #1. This is the first appearance of Casey Jones. This is gotten to be kind of a hotter book of the 4, because there's a one shot for each of the Turtles. Of the 4, this one is the more sought after book, I guess, being as the first Casey Jones, maybe, because the other ones are cool stories too. I've read them all, but this one, this is a very mid-grade copy. The spine must have been in the woods because it's got a bunch of ticks on it, and but yeah, really nice. I'll Mylar that sucker out of its mind, and we'll be good to go. Good to go, people. Good to go. So go back through this real quick as we wrap this thing up. I picked up the Dark Knight's Death Metal with Superman rocking out. It's just a fun cover, right? And, you know, collecting comics should be just that. I know some people do it as a business, and hey, that's great. You know, you got to have those folks to, you know, sell you the stuff. And I do sell stuff, and I don't try to lose money on it. So, you know, full disclosure, but, you know, sometimes it's just fun to get a cool cover, a fun cover, you know, and not really worry about, well, hey, this one's going to spike up in 2 weeks and I can sell it for double the price. Hey, it's just a fun cover, right? It might never be worth more than what I paid for it. But this one was in the set. I don't really typically, I don't really like this cover, but it was okay. And I'm a completionist, which is bad, by the way. And so this was sold as a set with the other one. So I really wanted the other one as much. And then he was selling these on a separate auction. And because I had already paid for shipping, these kind of stowed away in the package. As you can see, the old Valiant, early Valiant Nintendo books are a little more magazine-ish in size, unfortunately. And I have several. I've got another Game Boy, and I've got another Legends of Zelda, and then this is #3. These are about mid-grade copies. Got these from X Collect, which is Transformers 22. What's going on, David Ewing? How are you? Dana, thanks for stopping by. Let's see. New here. Magoo sent me here. I guess he's picking up my tab. There you go. There you go. Hey, Magoo's got plenty of money. Magoo has plenty of money. Okay, so don't let him fool you. He's a madman. but he's got plenty of money. So, hey, Magoo, you said that you sometimes are down my way, man. If you got a little advance warning that you're going to be down that way, hit me up on IG. We'll try to maybe hit some comic shops up in the area or something. Or if you're in Greenville, I'll take you to the Crystal Grill. So Transformers 22, which is the anniversary cover. I already had that, but you know, a lot of people collect those. Transformers number 7. Number 6. Number 5. Really dig that cover. I used to have like the collected edition of this back in the day. Jandre, what's going on, man? Lady, how are you? And then, of course, the mini series that just continued on is this one, either early or first mark texture or work. Nice. Warlord, thanks for stopping by. Spider-Man meets the Transformers. Always got to have a popular character drop in when some new characters are coming into the fold. And so had to get a little Spidey action on Megatron there. Then we've got Optimus versus Megatron. Don't we always have that? Number 2. And the bigger one of this one, because this one's got some pressable defects on it, I'm going to send this off to be pressed. I've got a box right here, some other books that I'm sending off to be pressed, and then they're going to go to CGC. And what I'm going to do with this one, as well as some of the other ones, they're going to be on stands in my case with the toys in front of them. So like my TMNT 1, I'm going to have some turtle toys in front of them and kind of go that route. I'm nothing crazy like Sideshow collectibles or anything like that, but I will get something with Transformers in it and put that in there because you know that's a little nostalgic. Back to the old childhood. So so if you are not familiar, you know, I've gone back and forth. I've used several different people, and it's not because it's not because they did anything. So I've used CGC's Pressing. Do not use it. If you want your book to be damaged, if you want it to take forever, don't use CGC Pressing. So the two bigger ones in the comic book community are Edwin at Strictly Comics and Erod 212. Everybody knows that now. So everybody's sending their stuff. They're both backed up. So it's like, okay, you know, the fact that they're backed up really lends to, hey, these are the people you should use, right? Because everybody's using them. That tells me that they're really into it. There's not a local presser here in Mississippi that I'm aware of. I think Two Brothers Comics has a presser up in Huntsville. I'm not familiar with them to know whether or not. I've not used them personally to be able to say. What about CBCS Pressing? I have some books that are currently at CBCS Pressing, David. When I went to the Huntsville Comic Con a couple of weeks ago, I did get some books pressed with the hopes of hitting that 9.8, that lovely 9.8. So I was told, because I ran into the guy that was the facilitator, that CBCS told him that I'm looking at 8 months. Now, I thought it was horrible when CGC said ended up with 4. But CBCS just said 8. Wrap your head around that. That's crazy. We have no comic cons. I mean, really, you're that busy? I don't know. I mean, that's their deal. I don't really understand it, but hey, they're doing it. So to finish answering the question, there's a guy that Burke over at Burke Family, Burke Family 54, Burke 54 Family, whatever it is, has recommended that I'm going to try out. He's got a little discount code where if I use his discount code, I don't have to pay for shipping back to me. So I'm going to probably use that and see what it's like. You know, we'll see. I've used Geek Aficionado. I've used Geek Aficionado. He did a fine job. No problem with him, but I know he's similarly backed up. He was on a show somewhere, and he was talking about trying to get everything ready he was going out of town and stuff. I said, well, let me just try somebody different. So Nothing against his work, but I have used him in the past as well. So, yeah, David, wow is right. It's very disappointing. Fortunately, that stuff was largely separated from my other order, and so hopefully it will not slow down the rest of my stuff. But I had a Wolverine 1, the banana cover, that was in shipping, and the seller took care of me because he didn't do it right or whatever, but he took care of me, but and gave me some of my money back. But I think he can get out, and I'm crossing my fingers. And then I have a Rogue, which is Uncanny X-Men 21, I believe. The green cover, same negative variant cover, just like the Wolverine. And so it had some spine issues that I think could be worked out. So I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that it gets worked out, because I'd love to have a 9.8. I like that cover. Of course, I'm a Rogue fan, but I like that cover better than the Wolverine cover. And let's see here. I was thinking about getting my own press. I've watched a lot of videos, but it may be cheaper to send them to someone else. It's obviously a lot cheaper if you press a lot of books. The thing about pressing is that when you press books, they eventually go back to the way they came. So eventually those things start showing back up. So it's kind of like a facelift, but it only lasts for a certain time. So unless you're pressing them to get them slabbed, there's really no need in it. So if you're going to grade a lot of books, it makes sense. I'm kind of on the iffy. So tell you what I'm looking at. My wife wants to get a press because she wants to do some vinyl on some shirts and all this other kind of stuff. And she's wanting to do that. And so what I think I'm going to do is find a press that will work for both of us and try it out. I'm going to try it out on a couple of low-grade books that have got some pressable defects, but if I burn them or whatever, don't do it right, I'm not going to get too mad at myself. Certainly, I'm not going to do it on my Turtles 1. And if I get confident enough in myself, then maybe I'll start doing the bigger stuff. But at first, I'll probably do like the smaller stuff. Because it's a craft. There's certain things that you can get out, work out, but like certain spine rolls, if you're good, you can get them out. But if you're just a casual presser, like I probably would ever be, that's probably all as good as I'd ever be. But it takes a little more skill, and certainly cleaning is a totally different thing. I've seen some and pressing seems to prolong the effects. And cleaning it too is another deal. And I've seen them in that humidity deal, and it's like, oh, I'd be so worried about messing my comic up. And so, if somebody else messes my comic up, we're gonna have words about it, right? And I better see some money back. If I mess my own comic up, there's nothing but on me, and then I'm hitting myself. So I don't know. Humidity helps with paper and pressing. It seems to last longer. Well, hey, if humidity helps that lady, then living in the South like we do, we should have no problem, because there's plenty of humidity down here. But yeah, I'd be worried about mold, because if you take it out and you put it up too quick, then yeah, mold could set up, and then you end up messing it up, and it's not foxing, foxing is kind of mold, right? So I'm going to have to jump in just a minute, folks, because I've got to be on. See, lady, I've got these right here that I'm fixing to send off to get pressed, like the Tomb of Dracula 1, Werewolf by Night 32. These are books that I'd just die if I messed up. This one is another negative variant, like the Wolverines, and it got damaged in shipping. Again, the seller took care of me. But yeah, I think some of that can be pressed out. I don't think it'll be a 9.8, but it's probably a 9.6. But we'll see. But that's the deal. So right now I am working on 600 subs giveaway. I know what I'm going to get, and I have already revealed it. For those of you who are new to the channel, who might watch this live or on the rewind are not aware of, we are doing the first appearance of Deadpool 9.4. I think it could be a 9.6 if you were so inclined to press it, as we were just talking about. Crack it, press it, and redo it. Don't think it'll ever be a 9.8. But Deadpool, which is New Mutants 98, and then also the pop to go along with it, which has his first appearance on the back here. So I'm going to be releasing details on how you can enter to win, but I'll go ahead and give you some hints, some givens, right? First, you got to be over 18. You do not have to live in the continental United States. I sent Gray Man what he won last time. He lives over there across the pond, but you do not have to live in the continental United States, but you do have to be over 18, and you do have to be a subscriber to the channel. So if you're not already a subscriber to the channel, go ahead and fix that right now, and then I'll let you know later what we need to do for you to enter and to win that New Mutants 98. Hey, you can't beat free. And that's from my personal collection, and I'll be upgrading my own from there. And we are at 464, so we got a few subscribers to go. So to help us get there quicker, why don't you share this channel with people that you know, people you like, people you don't like. You know, if you don't like the content, share it with people you don't like. Say, no, you gotta watch that guy ramble. Agu says, I'll subscribe. Well, thank you, Agu. You know, Agu kids, but I've looked at stuff that I know I've subscribed to people, and YouTube goes back and unsubscribes you. So for whatever reason, people got their thoughts on why that is, but hey, it's YouTube. So go ahead and enter to win. If you haven't already, smash that like button and hit the subscribe button like we were just talking about, and the bell notification, so that when random videos like this drop, you can have the choice of whether to be one of the first people to see it, but at least you'll know about it, right? And I do appreciate everybody that watched this live with me or on the rewind, but irregardless, I do appreciate you. And until next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.